Arthur's point of view. Yoongi gave Jimin pinky promise and allowed him to eat delicious food too. Jimin was so happy. Seeing him happy, Yoongi is also happy. On the other hand, Cook decided to give retest to prove his innocence. He insisted T to take his retest, but T denied him. After lots of pleading, T took his retest. Let's see what happens next. Cook, how's my test? Did I solve it correctly? T gave him his notebook. See it by yourself. Cook took his notebook from T's hand and looked at it. Wow, I again scored full marks. Cook started jumping and yelling, I scored full marks like a cute bunny who finally got his carrot. Oops, sorry, our bunny likes banana milk. The door was already closed so nobody can hear his voice. T happily looked at him. He was also happy because his bunny, his life was happy. Isn't seeing him laughing made us also laugh? He was crying and only crying from past few days. Finally our bunny laughed. Meanwhile with Jimin, it was their last lecture. Jimin was waiting outside of T's cabin while holding his and Cook's bag. He was worried for him. He knows everything already shot out between Taekook, but still he couldn't stop himself worrying about Cook. After 5 minutes, door opened, revealing very happy Cook. Jimin became super happy to see him like this. After all, he only wants to see Cook happy. Cook looked at Jimin and immediately pulled him into bone-crushing hug. Jimin-ji, I'm so happy. Jimin, I can see that, but why are you this much happy? And please leave me, you will break my bones. Cook immediately leave him. Oh, sorry, I didn't realize it. Jimin, it's okay, now tell me why are you this much happy? Cook showed him his full marks. See, I scored full marks. Jimin, then what's new in this? You usually scored full. If you forget, then let me remind you that you are the topper, said casually. Cook, I know that Jimin-ji, I am happy because I proved my innocence. I showed him that I didn't cheat. Jimin, so now you should give me treat. Cook, of course I will give you. Tell me what you want. I will give you anything. I'm so happy today. Jimin, I will tell you after thinking. They both were talking outside of T's cabin. They didn't know T was also listening them. Cook, come, let's go. Buy me a banana milk. I'm so happy today. Jimin, wait. You are happy, na? You should buy something for me. And here you want me to buy you a banana milk? Cook, because you always buy it for me. Jimin, but today I don't have any money. I forgot to bring my wallet. T, it's okay, Jimin. Cook, I will buy you a banana milk. Okay, now let's go home. Cook, happily. Otte. T, Jimin, you two come with us. I will drop you at your place. Jimin, but Yoon. T, don't worry about him. I already told him that I will drop you. He said okay. If you want, then you can also call him and confirm it. Jimin, no, it's fine. I trust you. T dropped Jimin at Yoonmin mansion and drove to his house with Cook. He even brought banana milk for him, which Cook was happily drinking while sipping. At Yoonmin mansion, Jimin took his phone and messaged Yoongi that he reached at home. Yoongi immediately replied him like he was waiting for his kid's message. Jimin unlocked the door and went inside and again locked the door properly from inside like Yoongi told to him do. He removed his shoes at the main door and placed it on shoe rack. He came inside the living room. Jimin to the house. I am at home. Jimmy, you know what happened today? He placed his bag on the couch and went to Jimmy. He told him everything which happened today. It's his daily routine. He always shared everything with Jimmy. After telling him everything, he went to his room to change his clothes but forgot his bag on the couch. Time skipped after few hours. Yoongi to Tumen. Arrange this here. Yes, here. Point his finger on Jimmy. And now we don't want it. Give it to anyone. Man 1. Okay, sir. Man 2. Sir, I attached this here. We fixed everything. You can check it. Yoongi. Yes, I am coming. Jimin came into living room after hearing noise, but what he saw made him cry. He saw two men are taking his Jimmy out of the house. He immediately ran to them. Jimin, hey, what are you doing? Where are you taking my Jimmy? Leave it, it's mine. You can't take him away from me. Manwan, we have been asked to take it. Jimin, mad. Who told you to take him? It's mine, only I have a right on him. I am telling you that you can't take him anywhere. Place him back on his place. Mentu, we can't listen to you. Go and talk to him. He told us to take it and give it to anyone. Jimin, shocked to see the person. Yoon! Yoongi, Jimin, Yoon, see, they are taking my Jimmy away. Please told him to not let him away from me. Yoongi, I told them to do this. Jimin started crying. Why? Please don't do this, na. Yoongi signaled them to wait outside. Why would I listen to you? I brought Jimmy to make you happy. I gave you everything. But what you did, I only want your good result. Is it that much tough to focus on your studies? Shouts. Jimin trembled. I'm so sorry. I'm trying. Yoongi threw his math test on his face. Really? Is this your trying? You didn't even think important to tell me about your test. If I didn't check your bag, then I will never get to know this. Jimin, I'm sorry. I forgot to inform you, but trust me, I didn't mean it to hide from you. Yoongi, I don't care. From now onwards, I will take care of you by my ways. You shouldn't allow to do anything by yourself. I will tell you what you can do or not. You take enough advantage of my freedom. Jimin, no, please. Yoongi to men, take him from here. Jimin, no, you can't do this to me. Yoon, please stop them. Started crying even more loudly. Yoongi, hold Jimin's arm. What are you waiting for? Take him out as soon as possible. Jimin, wiggling in Yoongi's hold. Yoon, please stop them. I will listen to you. I will study hard. I will only eat healthy and drink only healthy drinks without any complaints. I will run 10 rounds of the garden. I will do everything which you want. But please let Jimmy stay here with me. Yoongi, shut up. It's your punishment, your last punishment. I already decided something else, but after seeing your poor result, I changed my mind. You forced me to do this with you. Jimin screamed, Jimmy! No use of his screaming. They already took his Jimmy. Yoongi left his arm and he fell on his knees and started crying loudly. He was very emotional person. He was very attached with Jimmy. For him, he wasn't any toy or showpiece. He was his friend, his family member with whom he shared his everything. Yoongi, irritated. Now stop your crying. Jimin looked at him with teary eyes. I hate you. You are a heartless person. You separated me from my Jimmy. I will never talk to you. I can't live with you. I hate you, Min Yoongi. I hate you. I will never forgive you. With that, he went to his room while crying hard and locked it from inside. Time skipped after 2 hours. Yoongi went to Jimin's room to check him. He saw Jimin was sleeping, but tears were continuously flowing from his eyes. Obviously, he was missing his Jimmy. He was unable to bear the pain of separation from Jimmy. Seeing him crying, Yoongi's heart clenched. He wiped his tears, but Jimin's tears wouldn't stop flowing. He didn't want to wake him up, but he had no other choice. At last, he shook Jimin a little to wake him up. Yoongi gently shook him. Jimin, soft voice. Jimin was in deep sleep. He didn't wake up. Yoongi shook him little hard. Jimin, shouts. Finally, he woke up. He looked at Yoongi, who was hella worried for him. Tears was continuously flowing from his eyes. Yoongi, worried. Are you alright? He came closer to wipe his tears, but Jimin pushed him so hard. Yoongi trembled a little but didn't fall. He was so stunned by Jimin's this behavior. Jimin, don't you dare to come near me, you heartless man. I can't live with you. Yoongi, clueless. What are you saying? What did I do? Jimin, don't try to act innocent like you did nothing. Yoongi, I'm not trying to act. I'm innocent. I really don't understand. What are you saying? Can't you tell me what happened? Jimin, disbelief. After breaking my heart into millions of pieces, now you are asking what did you do? Shouts. Yoongi, I really don't understand anything. See everything clearly. Jimin, you know what? There is nothing left to say. I'm leaving you. Yoongi crossed arm. And where do you go? If you forget, then let me remind you that you have no place to go. You have to live here with me. Jimin realization hit him. Oh right. Thanks for reminding me that I have no one here. Yoongi, no, I didn't mean to say that you took. But before he could say anything, Jimin ran from there without listening. Yoongi, Jimin, where are you going? Stop it right now. I said stop. Ash, this boy ran behind him. He came into living room. He saw empty space there. He falls on his knees and started crying more loudly. Jimin, Jimmy, I'm so sorry. I couldn't protect you. Yoongi came into living room and saw Jimin was crying loudly. He went near him and put his hand on his shoulder. Yoongi, what happened to you? Why are you crying? Jimin looked at him with teary eyes but got shocked to see Jimin happily. Jimmy! Immediately jumped on him and hugged him tightly. Yoongi was quick to hold Jimmy as he was near to him. Jimin kissed him multiple times. Jimmy, you came back. I missed you so much. Thank you for coming back. Yoongi, confused, came back. But where did he go? He can't go anywhere. Jimin looked at him. What do you mean by he can't go anywhere? Jimin first stepped down from him and stand here. You will break him. He can't bear your weight. I think you forget that he isn't human being. Jimin hugged him more tightly. No, I will not leave my Jimmy. What if you again separate him from me? Yoongi, stop talking rubbish. Why would I separate him from you? If you forget, then let me remind you that I brought him for you. Yoongi made him step down from Jimmy by holding his arm and made him stand in front of him. Yoongi, now tell me what happened. Jimin looks down. I don't want to talk with you. Yoongi crossed arm. Look up and tell me. Why don't you want to talk with me? What did I do? Said strictly. He knows Jimin hates when he talked strictly with him, but Jimin left no choice for him. Jimin slowly looked up. Because you broke my heart and made me cry so much. Yoongi, how? Jimin wins. Why are you acting like you don't know anything? Yoongi, strictly. Is this the answer of my question? Jimin scared and shook his head vigorously. No. Yoongi, strictly. Then, Jimin, you sent Jimmy away. I begged in front of you to not separate him from me, but you didn't listen to me, and when I cried, you told me to stop crying, said with sad pout. Yoongi, when did I send Jimmy away? I didn't send him anywhere. I know you are very attached with him. I renovate whole living room by myself because you were deeply attached with the things, and you think I can separate you from Jimmy even after knowing what he matters for you? Look into my eyes and answer me, said in deep scary voice. Jimin, so scared. You did that to punish me. You said that my last punishment is still pending. Yoongi, yes, I said that, but that's not your last punishment, Jimin. But I saw with my eyes that two men were taking my Jimmy out of the house and you ordered them to do this. Yoongi shouts, how many times do I have to say that I didn't do any such thing? Can't you understand in once? Jimin, but I saw. Yoongi, you were dreaming when I came back home. Flashback started. Jimin went to his room after talking with Jimmy. He forgot his bag in the living room. He changed his clothes and lay down on his bed but falls asleep unknowingly. After 2 hours, Yoongi came home. Yoongi rang the doorbell. Ding dong, ding dong. He rang the doorbell many times but Jimin didn't open the door. At last, he opened the door by spare key. He entered inside the house. He searched him inside the house. He found Jimin in his room. He checked him through the door and saw he was sleeping peacefully. He didn't went closer to him. He came into the living room and called 2 men for arranging the things for Jimin's last punishment. Soon they came and arranged the things. Yoongi, finally everything is done. I'm so executed. Let me check my kid. He didn't welcome me today. I think he is also tired. Let me check him. Is he fine or not? Yoongi's point of view. I went to Jimin's room to check him. He was still sleeping, but when I went near him, I saw he was crying badly while sleeping. I'm sure he must be having a bad dream. I shook him a little and called him, but he was in deep sleep. He didn't wake up. I shook him with my all the force and finally he opened his eyes. I am happy to see him awake. When I raised my hand to wipe his tears, he pushed me away and said many bad things. I was so stunned by his this behavior. He never behaved like this. Suddenly what happened to him? Did anyone tell him anything? I wanna know the reason behind his this behavior. Flashback ended. He told him everything what happened when he was sleeping. Jimin, so this was a dream. Yoongi, normal voice. Of course it was stupid. Yoongi sat on the couch. Meanwhile, Jimin was still processing the things. Yoongi, now what are you thinking? Don't pressurize your pin-sized brain. It can't take this much pressure. Jimin went to Yoongi. Yoon, it means no more punishments, right? Yoongi, no, who said this? You will get the punishment when you did anything wrong. Jimin, in mind, it means this nightmare comes true too. What if after knowing my low marks in math test, Yoon sent Jimmy away? Looked at Jimmy. No, I can't let this happen. I have to do something. Yoongi, now what are you thinking? It's just a bad dream. Forget about it and move on. I told you now, don't pressurize your pin-sized brain. Jimin, Yoon. Yoongi, Jimin, I want to tell you something. Yoongi, go ahead. Jimin opened his bag and took a blank paper and pen. He went to Yoongi and gave them to him. Yoongi, confused. What's this? Jimin, this is a paper and this is a pen. Yoongi, I can see that, but why did you give this to me? Jimin, to write. Yoongi raised his one eyebrow. Write? But what? Jimin, nothing important. You have to write whatever I say. Simple. Yoongi, and what if I said no? Jimin, then I will not talk to you. Yoongi, so you are blackmailing me, aren't you? Jimin wins. Can't you write few lines for your cute and innocent kid? Please write it na, puppy eyes. This kid learns emotional blackmailing too. Yoongi, okay, I'm writing. Stop your acting, and one more thing, you aren't innocent. You learned many bad things nowadays. Jimin happily, thank you. Yoongi, now tell me what I have to write. Jimin, yeah, right, I mean Yoongi. Yoongi raised his one eyebrow. What's this? Jimin, please write it now. You will get to know everything later. Yoongi started writing. Okay. Jimin, I mean Yoongi, write this in all my sense and without being anyone's pressure that I can punish Park Jimin by any ways but not allowed to take his Jimmy away from him. If I ever do this, then I will be punished by law and immediately bring Jimmy back to Park Jimin. Yoongi, done. Happy now? I already told you that I will never take Jimmy away from you, but you don't believe me. Jimin took the paper from Yoongi's hand and started reading. Yoongi, yeah, check. You really don't have any trust on me. Jimin, finally done with reading. It's not like that, Jun. My appa always said that read the paper carefully before signing it. Yoongi, well, he is right. We should check the paper before signing it. Jimin, sign the paper. Now sign here. Give him black pen to sign. Yoongi, yes sir, why not? Yoongi signed the paper and gave it to Jimin. Jimin looked at the paper. Hey, you signed wrong. You didn't sign yours. Complaining pout. Yoongi, who said that? I have signed mine. Jimin, but you are Min Yoongi and you signed BTS Sugar. Yoongi, it's my legal sign. I did this sign on our marriage documents too. Didn't you see? Jimin, no, I only signed. I didn't look anything back then. I was so scared from you. Yoongi, teasingly, you were. That means you aren't scared from me now, right? Jimin, no, yes. Why are you doing this with me? Wins. Yoongi, okay, fine. Stop winning now. You got your papers. Now are you happy? Jimin, happily. More than that, I smile. Yoongi signed in relief. Finally. Jimin, Yoongi, Jimin looked at the paper. I know your nickname is Sugar, but what's this BTS? Yoongi, you don't need to know. Jimin, okay. Yoongi, by the way, from where you get this idea? Jimin, from Appa. He told me when to parties promise something and signed on the paper, then it's become a deal. They can't deny it in future. Yoongi, well, he is right. But you know this paper is not valid. If in future I take Jimmy away from you, then you can't do anything. Jimin, angry. Your sign is here, you can't deny it. If you do, then you will be punished by law. Yoongi, nothing will happen to me because it's not a legal paper, it's just a normal paper, it doesn't has any value. Jimin, who said this? It's a legal paper because we both signed here. If you do anything, then I will go to judge and complain about you. I will sue you. Yoongi, in mind, yeah, by this face anyone can believe on you. Yoongi, you will go directly to judge, not to advocate. Jimin, why would I go to advocate? Don't think I'm fool. I know judge has more power than advocate, and judge made the decision and everyone should follow his orders. Yoongi, in mind, he is too innocent. He doesn't know anything about legal work. Is he really 20 years old? I think he is 5 years old. Jimin, what are you thinking? Don't you dare to do anything with my Jimmy. I can sue you. Yoongi, yeah, you can. Happy now? Jimin, yes, confidently. Yoongi, okay, now sit here. I'm going to prepare our dinner. About to go. Jimin, wait, Yoon, I have something important to tell you. Yoongi, not now, tell me later. You must be hungry. Let me cook something, then we can talk, okay? Jimin, hold Yoongi's hand and stopped him. No, it's really important. I'm not hungry right now. Please listen to me. Yoongi, sit beside him. Tell me, what's important thing you wanna tell me? To be continued. Questions. How's the episode? What important talk Jimin wanna do with Yoongi? What will Jimin's last punishment? Author's note. That's it for today. I hope you all like it. I upload this episode little early. Are you happy? Yeah, I know you all are very happy. I want to tell you something about this story. I didn't write this story for YouTube. I wrote this story as a book novel. That's why it's a long story. But then I started getting message by other people that they want to upload this story on their YouTube channel and translate into their language. How can I allow them to do this? It's my story. I did lots of hard work on this. I talked with my readers and some author's friend too. They all told me to upload this story on YouTube before anyone copy it. Don't worry, you will see everything in this story. Lots of things is coming, including Namjin. I will finish it in seasons. Till then, take care of yourself. Love you all. If you like this story, then please do like, subscribe, share and comment. I assure you that you will never gonna regret on your decision. Thanks for watching.